Hey y'all, it's another week of Nashville. We're backstage at the Bluebird again. I'm Johnny Ellis, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Andrew.
The rootinest, tootinest, rowdiest cowboy in Nashville. Woohoo! That's my impression of the famous Nashville band Blur.
Right. Well, we're here, and we're backstage at the Bluebird. We're talking Nashville, Season 1, Episode 9. Be careful of stones that you throw.
Which is a really, really good bit of advice. I have thrown a couple of stones in my life, not too many. I won't say I've gone too far, but most of the time they have ended up hitting things. The ground, the air.
Oh.
One time it went back into the left into John F. Kennedy's head. That was... This wasn't even a dark day in Nashville. That's the thing. I managed to throw it all the way to Dallas. God. A couple of states. I mean, my arm is pretty good. My aim, not so much. But yeah, you be careful with throwing stones. No, don't do it.
I'm not even going to ask if it was a bullet-shaped rock.
No, it wasn't a rock. It was a stone. I just said
stone.
Rocks. Yeah, enjoy rocks. It's on Netflix now.
Well, this episode, I'm quite excited. This episode is directed by Paul McCrane. Now, do you know that name at all?
I'm going to go yes and say yes and I don't.
Well, you've seen RoboCop. I haven't. Do you remember...
I'm sorry, I've seen what?
RoboCop.
RoboCop, you just said.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen RoboCop. I've seen Spiderman. I've seen Spiderman 2.
I'm sorry.
I've seen Spiderman 3.
RoboCop.
I've seen The Amazing Spiderman. I've seen The Amazing Spiderman 2. I've seen Spiderman Homecoming. I've seen Spiderman Into the Spiderverse. I've seen Spiderman Far From Home. I don't believe I've seen RoboCop. I've seen RoboCop.
RoboCop.
I've also seen the 2014 remake RoboCop.
See, I've only seen the 2014
remake RoboCop.
Yeah, that.
Michael Keaton, Jay Baruchel, and a couple other people, I guess.
Do you remember a character called Emil in RoboCop?
Was he Miguel Ferrera's character?
No, he was Paul McCrane's character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Paul McCrane played Emil in RoboCop. This is his second of 4 Nashville episodes he's directed.
And he made a meal out of this one.
He's also directed CSI, ER, and The West Wing. But
which CSI?
Most importantly, just the normal CSI.
Which ER?
No, normal ER.
Which West Wing?
The normal West Wing.
There's no normal West Wing.
The East West Wing.
Not in 2020.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm shaking my finger. I'm wagging my finger. No.
But he also was in one of my other favourite TV shows. Do you want to guess?
Oh, was he punked by Ashton Kutcher?
No. Now, I say...
Did he take a seat to catch a predator?
I think that, for me, there's
Was he made a murderer?
No. There's
Did he
two
take
main,
the vow?
there's 2 main favourite TV shows of mine. I think you know one of them. I don't think you must know the other, but I haven't watched the other one in nearly
Have you watched the other 2?
I haven't,
because that show is really funny.
I haven't watched the other show in a long while, but I am in need of rewatch.
So it's a show that was cancelled. House of Cards.
No.
Crisis in 6 Seasons.
What would you say if I say, give me 2 of my favourite shows?
Okay.
Which shows would you come up with?
Nashville.
Instantly, right?
And Designated Survivor.
Right. Okay. So we're talking about 24. You're just being a prick about it.
Flatliners, the series.
Paul McCrane played Jack Bauer's brother, Graham Bauer, in 24.
Graham Bauer. Sorry, I believe they probably pronounce it as Graham.
Do you know how it's spelled?
Graham. Gream.
A-E-M. Green.
Graham.
Green is what you spell. Yeah. So this is his second.
Graham in the coffee.
This is his second Nashville episode that he's directed.
Oh, what was the first one?
our first one, I can double check, but
I would like you to have got done enough information so that we can go, oh, it was that one.
I did, but we weren't talking about that one.
Has he done the football storyline like to completion?
Right. Let me see.
Do you do both episodes that mention or take place within a zoo? So far.
Let me have a look.
Oh, there's a zoo in the script.
Call up
Paul. Better call Paul.
Do you think that's what he does? Whenever he gets any new scripts, Control F zoo.
Oh, I don't think they said it digitally. I think they send out print, so he has to do the hard work of actually scrolling through it himself. The zoo. Paul McCrane.
I can't believe this. He did episode 4 of season 1. We live in two different worlds, in which Juliette is served for shoplifting. Her PR agent sets her up with an interview on GMA to do damage control. Oh, so it's not.
No, it's the week before.
Yeah, it's the week before.
It was the week when everyone else was trying to say, hey, look, she shoplifted. And those of us in the know, of course, that adamant. That handling nail varnish within the regions of a shopping basket, would be very dangerous. So holding it in your pocket so it wouldn't fall down and smash, and thus paying for something and wasting it simultaneously were avoided. Smart, intelligent people understand.
Well, this
understands.
This is also written by David Gould. It's his first of 9 episodes.
Wait, David Gould, the comedy writer.
I looked him up on IMDb, and the shows that came up for him writing-wise, were
Stand Against Evil. He created Stand Against Evil. Dana Gould.
Star, Mars, and Council of Dads.
Council of Dads was great.
Yeah,
we all watched that. Definitely didn't get cancelled real quick.
I would only watch it if it was called Council of Daddies, which is basically what Nashville is becoming. There's a lot of daddy coming up.
I just vomited.
Now, the title, Be Careful of Stones That You Throw, guess where that comes from?
It doesn't come from anything logical because it's long and arduous and doesn't make any sense. You'd say, don't throw stones, it's really dumb, would be the more modern vernacular. So, I'm going to guess it is poetry from the 1700s.
It is a song from the 1950s, recorded July 11th, 1952.
Okay, it's probably someone, Eastern European, maybe Bjork. Did Bjork do it? When she was
recorded in Nashville in July 11th, 1952.
In Nashville, right here?
Yep, right here. Released that same year. It doesn't say exactly what date it was released. And it recounts the heroic act of a young lady who was killed while saving a child from a passing car.
What?
So, yeah, you want to check it out now, don't you?
I'm confused as to where the title leads.
Well, you'll have to listen to the song and find out.
No, I don't. That's why we've got people who would then just scour a script for the word zoo. They can also scour the song, explain it to me. So, I'm assuming you've scoured the song. Explain it to me.
I was hoping you'd listen to the song.
I don't listen to songs. I refuse. In fact, when I watch this show, and when I'm working here, I usually plug my ears up. I skip over songs. It's really hard working at the Bluebird Cafe, by the way, not listening to songs.
Yeah, it must be.
It's kind of like, my ultimate challenge. Some people run marathons. I work at Bluebird and don't listen to music.
All right, I'll read you some of the lyrics.
Please.
Be careful of stones that you throw. A neighbour was passing my garden one time. She stopped, and I knew right away that it was gossip, not flowers. She had on her mind.
Too many lines.
Huh?
I said 3 lines. You've gone 4. I don't want to. I don't want you to finish off a whole bar.
Fair enough.
Right. A person walked by.
Yeah.
So he was like, don't throw stones because people walk by. Fair. Yeah. I understand. I've seen people walking. I understand that the trajectory of a stone, based on my ability to throw stones in the past, might end up hitting someone based on my ability to throw stones in the past. So, dangerous. Good. Right, we know. Don't throw stones.
Shall we get into the episode?
I guess
We've not even started the episode yet.
Of course we have. We're pretty early into the show. We're not even 10 minutes in.
Yeah, true.
We're stones throw from the start. Oh.
Be careful. So now we start off in the studio with Rayna singing the wrong song. Not the wrong song, as it is wrongly called later on in the episode.
But pretty quickly into the episode, though, they refer to
Pretty
it as
quickly.
the wrong song.
Yeah.
They put the on it, and it's dirtier. It really is.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about dirtying up songs later. Juliette is supposed to be recording with her, but she's still not turned up.
Where is Juliette? How dare she not come down to do this? It's very important to get a clean, proper version of Wrong Song ready, not the live version, which is the wrong version of.
If you remember, if you remember last week, Juliette proposed to Sean. So obviously, we're going to have the next half season is going to be all about the engagement.
Will
party
they? Won't they?
Up,
There's going to be an awkward
setting
there'll
up
be a
the
bachelor
wedding
party. There'll be a wedding planner situation. Get Jennifer Lawrence involved.
But yeah, where is Juliette? That is a good question. Well, now we see where Juliette is. She's in the back of a limo with Sean, her fiance. Wait, no, her husband.
What?
They've just gotten married.
Wait, so she's riding in cars with the boys,
and they've
and one of them's married to her.
No buses. They've just consummated the marriage.
No cusses.
Sorry,
they're riding in a limousine. They've just consummated. How? When?
In a limousine.
Oh, some days you wipe off the blood. Some days you wipe off the blood. That driver's going to go crazy at some point. Go mohawking, shooting up a pimp.
Well, Sean reckons they should tell people about the marriage
and how they consummated it.
Yeah,
on the motorway.
To which Juliette responds, "Oh, do you mean like our managers?" And he says, "No, our parents. Remember those the people that raised us."
Well, that's not fair, because who raised Juliette?
Jolene.
Gonna
have a lot of that today. Well, Juliette's got a missed call, has got a call, but she doesn't actually answer it. No. It turns out she's forgotten all about the studio. She has to go to record she has to go and record in the studio.
Yeah, we all know this.
Yeah. Well, she's forgotten. She's been too busy getting married and
she's been too busy getting busy.
Yeah, she's been too busy getting busy. We're now with Scarlett and Gunnar.
I feel like this is a swish moment. This is a meanwhile moment. Come on.
Meanwhile,
give us a quick update.
I don't know. You shat all over me last time I tried to.
Yeah, but now there's consummation in limousines. I feel like we need to know what's happening at the same time.
Right.
People out there having sex. Other people are out there making beautiful music.
Songs like "Change Your Mind" is what they seem to be trying to write.
Oh, if they do that, I'll be first in line.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, there's a big gap between Scarlett and Gunnar. There's a big coffee table in between them.
There's a height gap. There's a respectability gap. One's really cool. One's an absolute wanker.
You don't like Gunnar anymore.
I'm gunning for Gunnar. Let's face it. He's a yogurt creep who doesn't like yogurt women.
Well, they're having trouble writing, and he's getting moody.
He's a moody bugger, and she's just off in her own little world now.
Yeah, and he's just ready to storm off. He's like, screw this. It's hard to write a song without any good lyrics.
Which patently false, because Party Rock is in the house tonight, and everybody's going to have a good time.
Well, Gunnar gets up and storms off. So Scarlett gets up and says, "Well, if you're leaving, then I'm leaving."
The lights will guide your way home and ignite your boats.
Because Scarlett's got to go and meet Avery. She's got to pick up keys to get Avery to move out.
Blue dabba-dee dabba-die dabba-dee. You see, there's many opportunities where lyrics aren't very good and still songs happen.
Well, Avery, meanwhile, is with Domino. And Domino, all I can hear is my cat meowing at my door, so it's nice.
Do you want to go and get your cats? I don't think health code violations are a problem at the moment with the Bluebird, because let's face it, the whole world is a health code violation.
Nah, fuck it. I'll leave. I'll deal with him after the episode. He's just annoying.
If you're a cat lover out there, so is Johnny.
I am. Yeah.
In every way. You like it to cat.
Not every way.
Well, you don't like it.
Anyway, Avery's with Domino. Domino's asking him if he's spoken to the Avery Barclay band, the rest of the Avery Barclay band.
The Avery Barclay band are a real problem.
But Avery can't fire them by phone. No. He says he owes them at least one last gig, at the very least. So he's going to do it in person. How's that
at the end of the show, or maybe even better, halfway through. Make
Yeah,
a really awkward stage presence
not
for
before the
25
show,
minutes
at
in
least.
an encore.
That'd be pretty good.
It would be really interesting. I mean, that's why you get professional cameras out to watch
Yeah.
that.
Well, Liam is at the studio with Rayna, and
If you're not following, Liam is the producer of Rayna's new album, who the record studio the record label did not sign off on until Wrong Song happened. It was like, yeah, you know what, he's the best. Let's have him everywhere.
Yeah.
Let's fall down on our knees for this boy. This reckless wonder.
They're still waiting for Juliette, but she's still
where
not
is
turned
she?
up. She's getting busy. So he gets up and leaves. He says it's one thing for rock stars to flake on recording sessions, but it's another thing for spoiled Pop-Tarts. To which
I
he
don't know
had
if you
something
had
different.
spoiled Pop-Tarts, but because they're made of sugar, they don't really spoil, so it's fine.
That's true. But they can, like, if you leave them in the toaster too long, they can spoil.
Oh, if you leave them in the toaster long, they get burned. And if you leave them out in the open without, outside the wrapping, they eventually get stale.
Yeah.
But they don't spoil.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the glory. She just might be stale. Or burnt. She's just crusty.
Well, now...
she's got all this juice going inside of her. That's just crusty her up.
Now talk turns to the tour. They're going to start with secondary markets, the towns that are dying for Rayna and Juliette gigs.
That seems fun, doesn't it?
Let's
go on a low-end tour first. Let's hit,
start off with, so that they can plan everything and get everything
Let's go to 5 cities in Maine.
Exactly.
Rhode Island, we're going to do a year with you.
They've got 3 days to rehearse.
Vegas, come down the road to Reno.
They're gonna have Wheels Up on Sunday, and they're off on Sunday to do
the Lord's Day.
The Lord's Day. Perfect day for a wedding, I'd say.
A white wedding.
A white wedding. Well, meanwhile, surely this is got to be meanwhile. Meanwhile, Deacon is touring with his new band.
What are they called? Sorry,
I can't remember what they're called. Do you remember what they were called?
Something like that.
The what?
Is it Rebels or Reckless? The New Radicals. There's the New Radicals, probably.
The New Radicals.
What you have to understand is with Deacon, you only get what you give.
What would you give? What would you give to Deacon?
I'd give him my dip.
Your dip?
Chips.
I don't understand that because it's Charles, not Chip.
Yeah, it's Chip Heston to me. And I was watching an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway that aired, broadcast, a week and a half ago. He was on it. He was introduced as and referred to the entire time as Chip Heston.
Was it?
Yep.
And it was broadcast. Its first broadcast a week and a half ago.
It was probably recorded last summer when I think they did both last season and this season over that summer. He's been on the new Who's Line for since it started.
Is it still good or?
It's still, of course, it's good.
All right.
It's Colin, it's Wayne, it's Ryan, and sometimes it's Greg, sometimes it's Jeff, sometimes it's Heather and Campbell, and sometimes it's, Chip Heston.
Well, it's the Revel Kings. Is the name of the band.
The Revel Kings, not the Reckless Boys.
No, it's the Revel Kings.
It used to be Reckless Boys.
Well, he's touring with them, and they're saying to him, you gotta be more, perform more. You gotta get out there more with your
make faces,
guitar solos. Yeah. And a reporter's turned up to write about the new band. Well,
I'm sure he's a very respectable Christians reporter.
Well, she turns up and
a woman.
She walks right up to Deacon and smacks one on him. Big old kiss.
What? A cease and desist? Oh,
not a cease and desist. I don't think she wants to cease and desist anything. Well, now.
No, can I just say I have been I have done music reporting at times. I've interviewed Def Leppard for one thing, and never at no point did I ever just lay one on any of them.
And that's why you're not reporting anymore.
Nor did I offer to go into the bedroom after an interview to unhook the microphone and then cut the shirt back. So, am I doing everything wrong? Is that why I failed as a journalist?
I think so. Well, now Juliette's finally turned up to the studio. And they say, "Where have you been?" And she shows on her ring finger and she says, "I've been getting married."
Whoa.
To which Glenn says, "Have you got a prenup?" And she says, "Well, do I look like an idiot?" which I love. Rayna, meanwhile, says, "All right, let me talk to Juliette alone because I don't think Rayna's very happy because Rayna wasn't asked to be maid of honor."
She was hoping, hey, maybe Rayna and Juliette could get married on stage, and that'd be like a tour stop.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Cash famously proposed to June Carter on stage. He could have gone one step more and got married on stage.
Let's get married on stage. Yeah. We've seen people propose on stage. That's boring.
Yeah.
No. Johnny Cash is famously boring. We've got to take a step beyond Johnny.
No. I will not
you can't deny
blasphemy.
How many people have proposed on stage at this point in the world?
I bet Johnny Cash started the whole thing. He started the trend.
I reckon the first person to get proposed on stage was Jesus. He was doing a sermon on the Mount, and then people kept coming up and proposing to him and saying, this is a great sermon. Want to go for a quickie? Can't. Got to get married first. Want to get married? Sure.
That's how it happened. Okay.
That's why he got 12 disciples.
Well, Rayna says she wants to start the tour on Sunday. And Juliette asks Rayna, "Why do you hate me?" To which Rayna says, "I only hate sunburns and hangovers. This is just business." But Juliette's not convinced. She says, "Is everything okay at home?" And Rayna says, "Well, marriage is complicated. You're going to learn that." Marriage is Complicated is a good song title, I think.
You think about the suntans and hangovers. I'm sure she hates, bankers in Wall Street who destroyed the economy.
Oh no, she loves them.
Sure. She's not. Yeah. Okay. How does she feel about child molesters?
Well, they're not sunburns and they're not hangovers. Hungover child molesters with sunburns. Now that she can't stand. She can't abide.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But I feel like she, especially by 2020. I mean, we need a Rayna James check. How's she doing? How's she feeling? What does she hate now?
That's true. I wonder what she hates now.
Oh, she hates the push to wear masks everywhere. Probably. Seems like maybe. I bet she's one of those. She's one of those who's going out there saying, "No, we want to fight for our freedom." She'll probably. Oh, she performed a concert, didn't she? She smash mouthed it. Rayna, for goodness sake!
Now I've written a quote, but I can't. I've written a quote, but I can't remember who said it. So who? But I've written, "You need me as much as I need you."
Oh, that was Gunnar to Scarlett.
No, it was either Juliette to Rayna or Rayna to Juliette. But it could work either way.
Rayna, and then Rayna reminds her of the whole situation she got into.
Yeah.
The incident that was her trying to carefully not break bottles of nail polish.
Can't believe you're still standing by that.
Truth. Stand by the truth.
Well, Juliette gets home, and Sean's there.
Oh, such a good home.
And his parents are there. And he's told his parents, and they're saying, "Well, before word gets out, we need it done right." And she says, "Well, it's legal. It's done. It's been done right."
Yeah.
And they say, "No, we need it done right in the eyes of God."
So right. Well, God's everywhere. He's omnipotent. That's his thing.
We're going to have a wedding.
Or her thing, or their thing. I don't want to judge the gender of the Jesus, God.
So, well, Juliette says, "Well, I've got my tour is starting Sunday. It's just been announced. Like I just heard today that it's starting Sunday. So we're gonna do the wedding on Saturday. They want it rushed."
That is a rush wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, is that would that be a shotgun wedding?
I saw no shotguns, but probably.
I saw some ships coming sailing in.
Well,
do we know where we are yet? By the way.
Not yet. Rayna, meanwhile, is telling Teddy that she's going on tour for 5 months, and she's telling him that she's going to be taking the girls with her.
Wait,
Maddie and Daphne.
Daphne.
Yep.
Velma?
No, not Velma.
Shaggy?
Just the two.
Fred?
No. She needs to take them away from the toxic environment that's going on. But Teddy tells Rayna she's not taking them without a fight. And now we find out we are in Nashville.
Wow.
A lot has happened already.
A lot's happened in Nashville. Yeah. Would you say that's almost 10 minutes of storytelling?
Yeah, about that.
Wow. Smooth half-hour comedy left.
Sitcom,
really, isn't it?
Well, Sean is now figuring out dates and stuff to be able to meet his wife.
To his wedding.
Yeah. Well, he's also trying to figure out when he can see his wife between his football games and her tour dates.
Oh, yes, because they're very busy, very young, and very career-focused individuals, which is why they were both doing the PR in the Zoo in the first place. It's almost like they're a match made in awkward.
Well, he's got 2 nights with his new wife in 2 months, so he's not very happy.
Sounds good.
So Juliette...
You get to live your bachelor life still. Come on, bro.
Juliette asks for the room alone with him, and basically says, "Less talking, more fucking."
Excuse me?
Basically, that's what I put in my notes.
What? Can we have the exact quote, please, from the
"Less talking, more
ABC
fucking."
broadcast of Nashville?
That's the exact quote from my notes of this episode of Nashville.
Oh, I need to hear it in
the
proper Juliette Barnes voice. Could you attempt to appropriate that correctly? How did she say it?
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Wow. That's a very odd euphemism.
I know. It's
I
just
don't know how it fits, is what he said.
Well,
I did a "that's what she said" thing on this episode. I'm a hack.
We've mentioned all my favourite shows now.
Have we?
Yeah, That's What She Said is basically The Office.
What else have we mentioned?
24.
Okay.
And we've talked about Nashville. And
we have talked about Nashville. That's the one show I wasn't sure about that we've talked about yet. So we have talked about Nashville.
Yep.
Okay, that's interesting. It didn't come up.
Well, now Tandy is with Teddy and Tandy. And she's telling him that the new polls show that Coleman only got a slight bump from the photos that were released. Peggy's going to be fine. She's heating up.
Margaret's fine. Okay.
And it's within reach. The election's within reach, but for what? Teddy asks, Peggy almost died.
Yeah.
And he tells Tandy that Rayna's going on tour on Sunday, so what's going to happen now?
Well, she's going to perform a lot of good music, and people are going to enjoy it. Who would deny creativity and art in this miserable world?
Let's find out, shall we? Meanwhile, Deacon is on private jet. Deacon's on a private jet with his band. Journalist.
Revel Kings are now Deacon's band.
Yep.
I would say Deacon's part of the Revel Kings, but he's only on the touring part, really, kind of. Don't call him part of the band, or let alone call it Deacon Claiborne and his Revel Kings. That's just extreme.
Deacon Claiborne featuring Revel Kings and very small font.
Puppet Show and Spinal Tap.
Oh god. Now, the journalist has gone over to him and sat down next to him.
Do you have a name for this journalist, by the way?
That's what I was just thinking to myself.
Jeffrey Tubin.
Don't know. Is it Carmen? Carmen Gonzalez?
Carmen said, where in the world is she?
I think it's Carmen. That's the only one I can think of.
Oh, you know who's Carmen?
Robert De Niro.
You talking to him?
So she's asking Deacon why he's never settled down. And Deacon says, well, me and Happy don't go well together.
Oh.
Yeah. You knew this was an MCU show.
Doesn't feel like a room without a roof.
He
doesn't believe that happiness is the truth.
Well, meanwhile, Rayna is back in the studio, and Liam is telling her that touring's not going to save her career. But Rayna, she says she's got to get out of Nashville.
Look, I understand he's doing producing work, so he's a bit more based on the post-production and the more clarified studio versions these days. But I do feel like live music needs to have a chance.
Yeah.
Which is why I believe that Rayna probably did do a performance in the last couple of months with masks off.
With masks off?
Oh, 100%. She was a super spreader event. Yeah, you can't deny that Rayna James' Nashville super spreader event happened. She played all the hit songs. All the oldies came out and they started spreading it amongst each other. And they registered to not vote.
Right.
I think she's bad for democracy is what I'm saying.
You're probably right there.
I'm 100% right. She doesn't go political in her material, but she doesn't lean the way you want her to lean.
Well, anyway,
She was kind of pro-SCOTUS this time.
Rayna's got to get out of Nashville. Her marriage, family, it's all a mess. She just needs to escape.
Wait.
Both Rayna and Juliette aren't dealing with their lives very well. Rayna's just wanting to run away, and Juliette is just getting married willy-nilly.
Oh, well, have you seen Shion's willy-nilly?
True.
But I don't understand how you can get out of Nashville. It seems to be... I've not got out of Nashville.
Oh, no, you're never allowed out.
I've got to the end of Nashville and there was a door there and Ed Harris told me not to go through it. He's a very polite man, by the way. Terrible hat.
Well, hey, speaking of Nashville, Avery's back in Nashville. And
well, speaking of Nashville, I don't put words in my mouth.
He's meeting his old bandmates in a car park, it seems.
What a great band they are! They'll be together forever.
They were happy. They're cheering. He's back, and they're saying, "How'd it go? Did you get us? Can't believe you got us signed." And he says, "Oh well, I'm getting signed."
Yeah, there was a signature on paper. It definitely happened. The band's name was partially signed there. I can definitely confirm that.
Well, JT, the only band member who seems to talk to him, while the other two band members just kind of look on.
The actual actor.
Yes, I think so. He tells Avery, "Well, you're not about the music anymore. You're all about Avery Barkley." And they storm off, and they're done. They're not going to do another gig with him. Avery wanted to do one final gig, go out with a bang. Doesn't look like that's happening.
Does it mean that they're going to have like a hole on their stage for an hour and a half?
Looks like it.
That doesn't seem like a good show. Although, actually, you know what? I would go and see a Black Hole on stage.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
It wouldn't be fun, but I mean, you could throw things at it and see where it goes.
Well, Juliette is planning her wedding.
What I'm saying is I like prodding things in black holes.
Her official wedding under the eyes of God. She's planning it with her new mother-in-law.
God is omnipotent. You don't need to go to a church to talk to him. Doesn't exist.
Well, the plan is at the moment, Dana, Sean's younger sister, is going to be Junior bridesmaid. Isn't that nice?
Now, Dana was really, really, really excited last time.
Yeah, she was. And it's nice to know that she's going to be
super excited now.
Oh, she's going to be so super.
Because, I mean, it's not even an official wedding. It's the fake wedding. That's the problem.
Yeah. But it's like, I think she's been raised to believe that this is the official wedding.
Yeah, but when they have like their fun bridesmaids chats and she mentions, he totally banged me in the back room. How's that going to go down? Yeah,
I think that's the first thing she's going to say to her.
Of course. I mean, that's what you tell your secrets to your sibling, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
And it's the law. It's in law. So she has to tell every time they got jiggy with it.
And Juliet's friend, Emily, is going to be maid of honour. Well, you say friend, assistant as well, but also friend.
Does she have friends?
And her, well, of course, because
she has family. She goes for
friend,
the Dominic Toretto attitude.
Her other friend, Glenn, who just happens to also be our manager, but friend of
or Glenda,
is going to walk her down the aisle.
Oh, that's nice. Because the manager's going to give her away.
Yeah, her mum is going to have a new contract to sign when he gets to the altar. Jolene can't make it. Yeah, Jolene. She can't make it.
The rehab.
Yeah.
Meditation.
Well, that's what
she's going through.
Juliette's saying anyway.
Oh, okay.
And she turns to her new mother-in-law and says, "I guess you were wrong about me never being a part of this family."
You're right. The negotiations are short.
To which her mother-in-law says, "Well, eloping isn't the same thing. I expect a lot from Sean's wife. You don't marry a man, you married a family."
I think Sean then came up and said, "My wife."
Probably.
It's nice. It's the perfect moment. It was 6 years before.
Yeah.
6 years after and 8 years before. So it's like the perfect moment to do it ironically at that point. Actually, it's 2013, wasn't it? Because this is mid-season, post-mid-season.
Yeah.
This was the 7 and 7.
Well,
Sean, don't be doing your Borats now.
Rayna's arrived home, and Tandy is there. And who is that with Tandy? Who is it?
Oh, I believe it's a ring-tailed Lamar.
Who?
Lamar.
Oh, Daddy.
No!
I think the connection's very
I believe
strange. It's
father.
it sounded...
male parental figure.
My headphones make Daddy sound like Lamar when you say it. I don't know, it's weird. But
Okay, so if I want to say Johnny is a piss-ridden boy man.
Oh, I love you too.
Oh boy. I don't think he misheard me. That's the worst part of that.
Daddy and Tandy are staging an intervention, basically. Not an intervention, but they're threatening.
It can't be an actual intervention.
Yeah, they're threatening Rayna.
Oh shit! That's not an intervention. That's not what you don't go to an intervention and say, "Look, I'm going to take one of your limbs if you don't stop getting the drugs."
Well, they're not threatening to take a limb. They're just saying, don't even think about divorcing Teddy. I know you're upset with him about losing money and all that.
Why? What have they got over Rayna regarding Teddy?
He says, don't even think about divorce because custody always shines a light on paternity issues.
Okay, but they're both.
It would be a shame.
We're both Teddys.
It would be a shame if Maddie were to learn the truth about her father.
About the Cumberland deal.
About her real father, he says.
Oh, about the reality of the Cumberland deal that Teddy went through.
Yeah, but more importantly, they don't want Maddie to know about her real father. Who's her real father, I wonder?
Teddy. Her real father was Teddy. Wow. He's got a Cumberland deal that went wrong. And they're discussing the fact that everything was financially bailed out by questionable people. That's the basic problem. And they don't want Maddie I understand they don't want Maddie to learn that now, but at some point she's going to know that her father did some weird stuff. And it's questionable.
Okay, if that's what you think.
That's what they mean.
They
don't want the children to learn about the financial nitty-gritty of what's going on in the mayoral race.
Rayna basically sells them to get the fuck out.
Sure, because, she's going to talk about that at some point, if it comes up naturally, or they will just live in blissful ignorance and believe that their daddy was good.
Now Avery has come back to Scarlett's house. Well, Scarlett is in Avery's house, anyway. It's Scarlett's house.
It's Scooter and Avery's home, forever home.
Scarlett has packed Avery's stuff, and she's moved the couch to where she always wanted to move it. Avery says it actually looks nicer there.
It doesn't.
Why did he never let her move it?
He doesn't like moving things. He was very much comfortable in stasis.
Well, Scarlett says if they'd never broken up, he would have never gotten the deal.
How did he get back in there, by the way?
How did he get back in where?
In the house.
He had a key. She hadn't changed the locks.
Oh, that seems like the first thing you would do.
Yeah, well.
Scooter, you muppet.
Yeah, so if they'd never broken up, he'd never have gotten the deal, and she wouldn't be making songs. She would probably just be Mrs. Avery Barkley. Which does sound good. Nice. It does.
I wish she was Mr. Scooter Muppet, and she was Mrs. Avery Barksdale. Together forever, they would be in love. It'd be great.
Well, they hug as a last goodbye, and then they kiss.
Oh, interesting.
But
I'm on board.
Of course, you're on board.
So Avery and Scooter forever.
Well, Deacon has just come off stage. Another gig with the
Revel Kings, baby.
The Deacon Claiborne band.
Claiborne's Revel Kings.
And they're complaining that he is going too hard with the solo.
Oh, for fuck!
He's playing the solo too long.
Look, don't say, okay, we've got 25 minutes without a song, just go mingle. And then say, don't do 35 minutes. That's a very hard detail.
They're saying, we know we said step up, but we didn't want to be stepped on.
Well, we don't want to be... Yeah, we said step up. We didn't expect you to step up to the streets. We wanted Miami Heat. Now you're all in.
And Deacon hears about Juliette and Rayna's tour together. And his first question, who is playing guitar? Who have they replaced me with?
Slash.
He's not interested. He's just curious. So he is interested, but he's not bothered.
I mean, is he bothered?
I don't know. They ask. Well, they're about to do a.
But is he bothered though?
They're about to do a photo shoot, and they ask him to stand in the middle there, but he says, "No, I'm fine right here," and he stands on the side. So don't know what he's thinking right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know why they would want Deacon Claiborne in the centre of the Deacon and Revel Kings photography. That seems questionable. He's only been there for 2 stops and 1 25-minute solo.
That's true.
It's not long enough to be in the photograph.
Well, Juliette...
Kurt Cobain was barely in Nirvana before Nirvana was finished. You know?
Juliette is rehearsing Boys and Buses on stage.
No, this song.
Sean...
This song.
You like this song?
Buses. Are boys similar to buses?
They are in this song.
In what way? You wait for 1 and 2 come on you at once?
Yes, yeah. Exactly. Not like limos.
No, you come in them.
Well, Sean's turned
By
up.
the way, never ride in a limousine. You both kind of know and don't know what's going on back behind there at one point or another.
That's true.
And you don't know how deep clean they do, so just don't. Get a bike.
Oh god. Sean's turned up and he's got some good news.
Oh, they're gonna get married?
They've already got married, but
wait, when did that happen?
For their marriage under the eyes of God, Sean has spoken to the rehab facility, and he's going to get his mother-in-law out for a day on a day leave, and
great! So they can all celebrate and drink champagne and
no, maybe not her, maybe not Jolene.
Well, what is she going to toast with? Because if it's a glass of water, that's bad luck.
Oh well,
yeah,
exactly. Well, he's organised her to be released from rehab for a day. Juliette isn't very happy, but he says, "Well, that's what you told my mum. You said you wanted your mum there." So there's already manipulation going on behind the scenes here.
Yeah, you need to have Jolene for the wedding.
So Juliette says, "All right, well, Juliette."
Jolene, their wedding.
Sorry.
You should be. I set you up free.
I said Jolene earlier, and you didn't do it. So I was like, all right, we're not doing it now.
Because you were rushing through that one. That was too fast. I couldn't catch up with you.
Right, fair enough. That's your excuse, I suppose. Well, Juliette wants to see Jolene. Jolene. There we go. You happy?
What did you have with Jolene?
On her own. You sound better when you have it. So anyway, we're back at Avery and Scarlett's.
Hey, forever!
Scarlett's. Well, you say forever. They have just finished having a bit of fun on the sofa.
Yeah, they treat it like a regular limousine.
Yeah.
And awkwardly, they've moved it back to where it belonged.
And things seem to be sort of back.
Yeah, I really like this scene. This was great.
It was really good, wasn't it?
So cool because those two are together forever.
Well, yeah, you say that.
I do because they are.
Scarlett says to Avery, "JT must be really excited." Not the other members of the band. JT,
no, but JT must love the fact that
that one that's got an actual name, JT. He must be excited that you've been signed on.
You know what JT stands for, right?
What?
Dominic Toretto.
Well, Avery says, speaking about that, JT hasn't been signed. Only I've been signed.
What?
And there goes the mood.
What? But Avery, I thought he was a good guy, but I think he's maybe like some sort of celebrity chasing, street walking person of the night. What do you call that?
A whore.
A fame whore.
Fame whore.
Yeah, he sounds like a fame whore.
Well, that's what Scarlett calls him.
Scooter calls them that.
Scarlett calls them that, yeah.
Scarlett calls them that.
Yeah.
See, we're simpatico.
So are you not on the Avery Scarlett bandwagon anymore?
Not when Avery hurts Scarlett like that.
Yeah, it's not nice seeing Scarlett hurt, is it?
No, it's not.
No.
It's also not nice when Scarlett hurts Johnny Cash, but that's another story for another day.
Yeah, we're not getting into that again. So she's not happy with him at all and kind of storms off.
Yeah.
Juliette, meanwhile, is meeting Jolene. And tells her about the wedding. Jolene Jolene.
Jolene.
Doesn't seem very happy for her. And she says to Juliette, no amount of marrying is going to quiet your demons. Well, Juliette just says, you just can't stand to see me happy, can you? To which Jolene
Claps
says,
along.
Jolene says, well, are you happy? I don't know. Do you think she's happy?
Well, I mean, I look at her and I feel like the room that she has, no roof.
Yeah.
There's no roof.
Well,
I believe that whilst Jolene has found some sort of Jesus part in the rehab,
right?
But actually, for Juliette, happiness is the truth.
Right. Well, can't dwell on that too much because we're back at Bluebird.
Yay! Woo!
Finally. Scarlett's working, and JT's popped by.
Scarlett does a lot of working, as you say here, but I don't see her cleaning the toilets.
No,
is that on her rota? I feel like we've got to change up every so often. I don't know why I have to be in there 24/7.
Well, I've already told her that she doesn't need.
You let me out for an hour to do this podcast, and that's about it.
We need those toilets spick and span.
I don't know why at 3 a.m. I still need to be rubbing down.
Because you never know when people need a toilet.
Right? Probably not at 3 a.m. when we're closed.
I often wake up at 3 a.m. and need a toilet.
Yeah,
when you're in the way, it's just
why do I have to be there to see it? That's the worst part.
You never open your mouth. It's just then it makes even more of a mess, and you've got to clean that up. Then
I know. Remember.
Well, JT suggests they start a club called not a club, a band called Avery's Exes.
They should definitely start up a club called the Exes.
Yeah.
They should get 7. Maybe they shouldn't be on the side of good.
Well, JT's got to cancel the show tonight, and they've got to hunt for a singer.
How are they going to find someone to sing in a city of Nashville anytime soon?
Yeah, I know, crazy.
It's probably the least musical town out there.
Well, Scarlett says, well, hold on. What if you find a singer last minute?
Yeah, well, obviously that'd be the dream, but where? Where the fuck are you going to find that?
Scarlett knows of a blonde singer who knows all their songs. It's her! Scarlett's going to join the band.
No.
One night only. Maybe even longer.
I mean, last time she was on stage one night only, we saw what she did to poor Johnny.
Yeah, we know.
We heard the song coming down from hell. The song was really bad and she sang it not very well.
The notes I've written for the next scene, I've started with yogurt reunion.
Jesus. Why do you not know Hayley's name?
Hayley, that was it. Unless they say it.
Doesn't she look like a Hayley to you?
She looks like a yogurt girl to me now, thanks to you.
Well, obviously she looks like a yogurt girl. She is the face of yogurt. When you look at Ski.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, yeah, because they had a meet cute over yogurt, wasn't it? That was it.
Oh, boy, was it meeting?
So long ago. People that dip into this show, I don't know if they do, but if someone dips into this show and it's going on about a yogurt couple.
Can I just say, if you do dip into this show, could you dip into a nice low-fat yogurt? Because it really goes down smooth.
It really does. Jeez. Anyway, well,
the yogurt reunion of Hayley and Gunnar.
Yogurt girl wants to get promoted.
Wow.
And she wants to do whatever it takes, and that includes patching things up with Gunnar and Scarlett, because they're better together than they are apart.
Well, you know who's better together than they are apart?
Go on.
Hayley and Gunnar.
Yeah.
They should get together.
Yeah.
It feels weird because they're both, I would have assumed without any kind of knowledge they're both men. But I feel like they work really well together.
First-hand experience tells you otherwise, though.
I don't have a first-hand experience. That's the problem. Give me a bowl of yogurt and I'll give you experience.
Well, now Teddy and Daddy are in a meeting together, and Rayna barges in. Yeah, they are.
No,
it's
probably Teddy's
there and Daddy's there.
Because look, Teddy is a father or daddy to Midger and Daphne, so I feel like you could call him Daddy if you want to.
What did you just call her?
Midger.
Midger is Maddie. Yeah. Maddie and Daphne.
No, Daphne and Mijel, the lead,
Oh, right, okay.
the co-producer of
Right.
Ultravox and Band-Aid.
Right.
Duh. That's why they're such a musical family.
Okay.
And that's why it's very questionable as to who's the real parentage. Is it Teddy or is it, Bob
Well,
Geldof?
Rayna barges in and she says, "Oh, I see you two are thick as thieves. Look at you."
Did she say that? Did she come in
Yeah.
and go, I see you as sick as thieves, look at you.
Look at you. Jesus
Donkey,
Christ.
come over here and look at Teddy and Daddy. What are they up to? What are you doing in my swamp?
And then she
By the
farts and
Cumberland
goes on
River.
about everyone. She suddenly farts and goes on about everyone loves their own brand. It's very strange. Get her off to that.
I don't know why you're confusing Shrek with Fat Bastard. They're very identically different characters with different kind of accents and very different characteristics. Obviously.
Well, Raina tells Teddy what happened earlier. She says they came and did Daddy tell you what he said to me? He said he was going to reveal about about Maddie's real father, about Maddie's real daddy.
Maddie's daddy.
And in my notes here, I've put "back the fuck off," says Teddy. And I think that's an actual quote.
I genuinely wonder if you've got a different version of what I'm saying. Very comfortable, positive, unswearing television. You got the Sopranos of Nashville.
Basically, in a nutshell, Teddy stands up and he says, "Back the fuck off, Daddy. Don't you dare threaten my wife like that again."
Move,
So
Daddy,
we know that
get out the way.
we know that Teddy knows that about the real father.
Wait, yeah, of course Teddy knows about the real father because he looks in the mirror and goes, "I'm Maddie's dad."
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
I'm Maddie's dad.
Well, Daddy's quite surprised at that. He says, "Wait, hold on. You know about this?" And he says, "Yes, I know. And as far as I'm concerned, I am Maddie's daddy."
Yeah, because Teddy is Maddie's daddy.
And I
Teddy
will not have you
Big Maddie daddy.
ruining that. I will not have you ruining that relationship or even threatening to. So
Yeah,
back the
because
fuck
there
off.
is nothing to ruin except the fact that they just love each other because they are daughter and daddy.
Yeah.
And Lamar, who has a daughter, should know about that, but he is not a daddy. He's a father.
Well, now Deacon
Bad father.
is.
You could call him a bad dad. Maybe you could have a bad dad Christmas.
Well, meanwhile, Deacon has come off the stage
Again.
with his band again. He's done another gig.
So the Revel Kings, how are they doing?
Well, they're doing pretty good.
Okay, but how's Deacon's Revel Kings? Are they doing better?
Oh, they're doing better, yeah.
Good.
He's found a happy medium with his guitar playing. They're happy with him now.
So he's doing well with his rock and roll.
Yeah.
He's doing well with the no drugs. What's the other part that they promised?
No sex. Oh, no sex.
Ooh,
sex.
They
certainly
didn't promise no sex.
Sex, no drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah, so they did 2 out of 3. That's not bad.
Well, Deacon's got a bit of a headache. He's in his little dressing room with the mirror with the lights around it.
Room. It's about 5 foot.
And the journalist woman, whose name I forget again, turns up and she says, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Oh, I've just got a headache. It's loud, like I told you." And he says, "I'm going off to the hotel." And she says, "Well, do you want some company?" And he says, "Depends. Are you going to take that recorder with you?" And she says, "Well, I'm happy to let it go for the right
I'll
reason."
unhook your mic pack. Wink, wink. Tuck your shirt.
Exactly. So they go back to the hotel together.
To do what?
To have a conversation. Keep each other company.
No drinks, obviously.
Drinks.
There's no sex in the champagne room, but it's fine. He doesn't go to the champagne room.
Well, now Scarlett is on stage. She's singing with Avery's band. Avery's Exes.
Is that what they're going to call themselves? Or are they now going to be called the Scarlett surname band? I'm trying hard not to say Scooter sometimes, and it's so ingrained in my society. It hurts not to say Scooter. Say Scooter O'Connor. Sounds really good.
So she's singing "Twist of Barbed Wire," which is sounds better than Avery's version, I'd say.
It sounds better than the Twist of Ring of Fire.
Yes, for sure. And she's having fun. JT's impressed, and he says, "Why don't we make it a permanent thing?"
Okay, she's having fun, but Johnny,
yeah,
are we having fun yet?
We are, because we're all watching Nashville. Do you want to clean the toilets again, or do you want to continue?
I mean,
Okay, so
looking at
let's
the toilets,
continue.
it's very interesting. The acoustics in there are so good, I can not listen to music any time I want.
Well, JC says, the crowd loved you. You can write, and you've already got a deal. Why don't you just stick with us?
Publishing deal.
Yeah. Why don't you just stick with this band?
She's got a song on hold.
And we can ride on your tailgates there.
And her uncle's in the most popular band in the world, Deacon Claiborne's Revel Kings.
Yeah. Well, now we're at Juliet's, and she wants to run away. She wants to go off to New York.
Is this the time when they're watching game video?
Yeah. Well, she wants to go off to New York, but Sean can't.
Because Sean's sitting there on the sofa, which they've moved to a really nice location, to watch game video.
Yeah. He's got to watch game video, and he's got to watch game video. Meet his trainer in the morning, so they can't really run away to New York. So she gives up and kind of goes up to him.
I wouldn't say running away either. I'd probably say get in the back of a limousine, then fly your private jet away. Because running away is going to take you a long time to get there.
Well, she resigns herself to snuggling up with Sean, to which
he says it's the best way to watch game
footage.
And it really is game video.
Game video.
It really is. I mean, if I had to watch game video, which I don't like watching, I watch Twitch a bunch, but I don't really like watching game video. I'd like to snuggle up with you.
Oh, I miss snuggling up with you.
Oh, game video right now.
Well, Avery is in studio. They are cutting his song, and he thinks the bass is too much.
Wait, this is more of an Atlanta style studio, right?
Yeah, he's in. I think he's back in Atlanta at this point.
Is he back in Atlanta?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it's got the Atlanta sound to it. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Do you know how I know the Nashville sound?
Go on.
Sounds dirty. They dirty it up.
Yeah, they do dirty it up.
This motherfucker dirty it up like nobody's business. It's got the Atlanta dirt.
But,
it's like Donald Glover just came over here and wrote in a whole season of TV, which is mildly mediocre. Everyone goes crazy for it because they dirtied it up. Dirtied it up all over this song.
Well,
that bass, dirty. That bass is Christina Aguilera, baby.
Avery's used to something a bit different.
It's that time for her life.
But he's busy now because he's just got a text. He's got a video message from JC of all people.
Oh, that's
check
nice.
This out.
They're going to pitch it up together, are they?
And it's a video of his ex-girlfriend playing with his ex-band better than he plays.
Wow. Now, look, I mean, the bass is dirty, but JT just did him even dirtier.
Yeah. Well, now we're with Deacon and Journalist in bed.
I've got the female characters down.
Yeah.
You're a girl, Journalist. Scooter? You call her Scooter? What kind of person
fuck you. I've never used that word in my life.
In your life?
Unless it's about the Muppets.
Right. What do you ride if you're a child who wants to get somewhere on one foot?
I bicycle, but really awkwardly.
Wow.
Or skateboard. I should have said skateboard.
Should have said skateboard, but you said scooter, didn't you? You said scooter. You've said it before, and you'll say it again.
Well, obviously the Journalist and Deacon know each other quite well. They've just got to know each other even better.
First-hand experience.
And she says, there's an edge to your put-on charm. And he says, well, you should know me enough to let it go when you're asking me how I'm feeling and, asking me questions. It's like what a journalist would do. What are you doing?
Have you seen the Edge's push-on charm?
No.
It's really small. It's basically, a shamrock.
Right.
Because, of course, you two are famously...
To be sure.
Shamrock.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, she tried once to let it
go.
That was 14 years ago.
How dare you?
Sorry. She tried
rock.
She tried 14 years ago to let it go, and she still regrets it because of Vince's car accident. Who's Vince? Why did he have a car accident? And she says, you and Vince, you went drinking, didn't you, after the car accident? But she doesn't really answer. So we're finding out a bit of
Vincent Price.
We're finding out a bit of Deacon's past here.
Vincent Price ever go to Nashville?
Maybe.
Spiders form inside your head. Nashville is where I long to tread.
Well, Well, now we're
That was the original cut in the middle of a thriller.
right.
They were like, "Could you make it scarier?" What's scarier than treading through Nashville, the spookiest city of all?
We're now
People call their fathers daddy. Some
yes,
people.
they do.
Some people call me Maurice. Well.
We're now with Teddy and Rayna at home. And Rayna is grateful for Teddy standing up to Daddy.
No, he's grateful for Maddie's daddy to stand up to Daddy.
All the kids know. All the kids need to know is that Mummy's going. All the kids need to know is that Rayna's going on tour, and Teddy's is running from here. They're going to stay normal. She's not going to take the girls out on tour anymore.
Oh, poor Daphne never
unless school's over, she'll let them join.
Oh, okay. Well, the school's just been over for a while because COVID, so that's fine.
Yeah, they could remote learn.
They could definitely remote learn and remote sightsee. Do you reckon they've been caught up in one of her super spreaders?
Maybe.
Oh, Maddie and Daphne probably got it. It's probably the Conway situation. They've been TikToking about what Rayna's been doing and been like, "Oh, she's infected us now, and she's spewing all this hatred."
Well, Teddy says that the tour is a perfect cover, both publicly and privately. So they're gonna sort of continue as normal. There's no rift in this relationship. We're fine. That's what we're saying, and that's what we're going with.
They've come back to that a couple of times already in these 9 episodes. Look, we've gone through something, but on the outside, we're going to say we're fine. I've got a question.
Yeah.
Rayna and Teddy, are they not a good couple?
Of course they're a good couple. They're fine.
They're fine, but are they like if you were going to put, I don't know. Right, look. Adam, Eve, perfect couple.
Right. Apart from that snake.
That's an outside influence.
Yeah.
And even so,
Deacon is the outside influence in this.
But even so, they did a dirty. They were done dirty, and they kept together after the fact, and they still loved each other so much, and they birthed humanity.
Yeah, true.
Would you put Rayna and Teddy on that level?
No, yeah. Okay. They're fine. They're fine, Andrew.
They're fine. It's not perfect.
They're fine. Both publicly and privately, they're fine.
Okay, right.
Okay.
But
anyway, moving on.
Ben Affleck and
Let's
Jennifer.
not talk about this anymore. They're fine.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer. Would you say they're on that level?
Well, they're not together anymore, so.
Okay, they're not together, but okay. But Ben Affleck and Jennifer. Did you say they're on that level then?
They're better than that level.
They're better than Ben Affleck and Jennifer, but they're not as good as Ben Affleck and Jennifer?
No. Oh, so confused. Anyway.
J-Lo versus Jagar.
Stop opening these cracks.
I'm sorry. We haven't got married yet. Can't open our cracks.
Well, Juliette, speaking of married, Juliette's in a wedding dress.
Yeah, of course, because she's going to get married. It's Saturday, right?
Yeah.
What a day. What a wonderful day.
Glenn is there, and he says the photographers are 5 deep around the church. It's going to be a zoo around here, which is perfect because that's where they met.
It is. It's where they met at a zoo, and then they bought a zoo.
And Juliette gets a hand delivery from Sean. It's a necklace of his grandmother's that he wants her to wear.
As he ripped off of her body as she was dying.
As she joins Sean's family, which is sweet.
What's the family surname? Do we know?
Sean something or other. I think something or other is either.
She's going to become Juliette Barnes something or other, or Juliette something or other Barnes. What's the situation? Is she going to do a vowel hyphenate, or is she going to just go straight up for Juliette something or other?
It's Sean Butler. Do you think Juliette wants to be a butler? I can't.
I reckon she wants to be a Butler Barnes or a Barnes Butler.
I don't think she wants to be a butler at all.
You know who wants to be a butler?
Who wants to be a butler?
Alfred Pennyworth.
No.
Who doesn't get to be a butler?
Would it be Alfred Pennyworth Butler or Alfred Butler Pennyworth?
Yeah, Alfred Pennyworth Butler, because that's signified. He doesn't. Do you know who doesn't get to be a butler though? Alfred Pennyworth, because by the third time he gets sent away. I can't watch you die.
Well, Scarlett has meeting up with Gunnar, and she tells him
We go to Paris. Very blank.
She tells them the Avery Barkley band has asked her to join them.
Right.
And of course they would. Anna says, he understands. But she has finished lyrics to the song, and she wants to continue working with Gunnar. She thinks they work well together.
Do they work well together?
When they work, yeah.
When they work, when they're not being mopey buggers.
Yeah. All they need is yogurt and they'll be fine.
All they need is yogurt.
She says to Gunnar, do you want to read my new lyrics? I've finished them. And he says, no, let me hear them.
No, he says no. And there's a long pause and it's really awkward.
And then he goes, all right, fine.
I was like, I want to hear them.
Well, Scarlett sings Change Your Mind. What do you think about this song?
Well, I was the first in line.
Right.
I took a chance on it. It was okay.
Right.
It's a little soft. I like my music a bit more like Deacon Claiborne and the Revel Kings would play.
Right.
I like it hard-edged. I like, what? I'll be honest. I like the Atlanta sound. I like things getting dirty. That's 3 R's. We must just say I like things when it's dirty.
Right.
Because it's about time for my arrival. And so this song was just played a bit too safe. I guess you could say to my ears this was the wrong song.
Not the wrong song, just the wrong song.
No, there was the wrong song. I'm not talking about the wrong song titled Wrong Song.
Right.
I'm talking it's just the wrong song to me.
Fair enough. Well, while we hear Scarlett singing Change Your Mind, we see Juliette turning up to the wedding in the car.
Yeah, okay. Is this a limousine?
Deacon is in his hotel.
Because that white dress won't go well.
Sean is stood at the altar, waiting.
Sure.
Rayna is saying goodbye to girls on Teddy next to the tour bus.
Yeah, it's like a Star Wars Ball moment where you just see the reflections of the tour bus as well.
Deacon's looking at himself on a magazine cover in his hotel room and kind of chucks it away.
He does not believe in print. Yeah, he is.
And they're still waiting for Juliette at the altar. And Juliette's car pulls up.
Yeah, here she is. We're here. Seatbelt unbuckled. We're here. She's gonna go. She's going into the church. She's going into church. Here she goes. She's going to church. She's gonna get married. What?
She's going onto a plane.
Oh, she's gonna get
married. She's not getting married. She's not getting married.
She's getting married.
Not under the eyes of God, anyway.
I think you'll find that plane flies in the sky. The sky is where God lives. Not just under the eyes of, within the face of. She's going to fly in the face of God to get married. I'm assuming the church is on the plane.
Nope.
Plane church. It's Sunday in some time zone. Plane church.
Nope, that's that with Juliette. I think she's washing her hands of Sean, her husband, her official husband, legal husband. And that's that for this week of Nashville, backstage at the Bluebird. I don't know what else to say. I mean, who knows where it's going to go now?
I know it's going to go good because she's going to get proper married. So she's definitely.
I don't think it's going to happen, mate.
But
you're the guy who still believes that she just put the nail polish in her bag.
What do you mean believes? What do you mean believes like there is any other possibility?
Okay, all right.
I don't.
Well, if you want to try and convince Andrew that he's wrong, and give him proof, we can all send him the video clip.
Show me proof that when you put nail varnish and nail polish bottles into a shopping basket with open holes, they don't fall through and smash. Right. Show me proof of that, and I'll show you proof of someone who doesn't understand how gravity works.
Yeah, of course.
Things fall to the ground, you're wasting money, and you're paying for stuff you don't even get to wear on your lovely nails.
Well, where can we find you to argue about this?
Ethan Runt at Twitter, at Ethan Runt. Talk to me. Tell me. Because this is the truth. This is the way it always has been and always will be. Until we get a better system for shopping, that's how you have to do it. Since the coronavirus, I've been going to the shops and I've been taking the shopping bags I would use to take the groceries home and putting the stuff in there straight away so I don't have to hold the basket at all. And they don't look at me like I'm bloody shoplifting because they know I'm going to pay for it
different
eventually.
Times now, though, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry. 2013, it was different times. Yeah. 7 years.
Yeah, a lot has happened.
7 years?
A lot has happened.
Brad Pitt hangs out in Tibet.
Well, you can find me at movie_mad. to tell me why I'm right in this
I like
argument.
movies too.
I do like movies because we actually have a sister podcast, a brother podcast, another podcast.
Big Brother, another podcast?
Yep.
Another podcast.
Are you movie mad? Find us there.
I am. Actually.
Meanwhile, you can email us at bluebirdpod@hotmail.com.
We are also Bluebird_pod on Twitter. We didn't mention our Twitter handle for this podcast.
And we are BluebirdPod on Facebook.com.
Oh, that's
and
you on Facebook.com.
And we are at BluebirdPod on Instagram.
That's you on Instagram. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's not me. I don't have anything. Until
next week, I suppose.
Do you suppose?
I do suppose.
I know that Moses supposes. Do you use this supposes? What? Can you give us any kind of predictions for next week?
I don't want to spoil anything.
I don't want spoilers. I just want predictions. What do you think is going to happen?
I think next week is the alien invasion. I mean,
you've been pushing this alien invasion for a couple of weeks to me.
That's it. It's a typical go-to.
I've started hearing I've been catching up on a podcast that does accidentally talk about Nashville, and they're talking about it, I think, in season 3 and 4 at that point. And they're pretty open with some of the spoilers, even though they say, "Oh, someone here hasn't actually listened to the latest episode yet." And I'm hearing stuff I don't want to hear, and I have to skip through like 7-8 minutes of them discussing.
Wait, who did you tell them that you haven't? Is it you they're talking about?
No.
Oh,
no.
Right.
How dare you? How dare you insinuate that I have any chance of hanging out with Jimmy Pardo or Never Not Funny?
I don't know. I thought maybe.
No, I've met him once. How exciting. And at that point, I wasn't watching Nashville, so I didn't say, "Hey, don't spoil," but I'm on it.
What would you like to ask me? One question, and I'll try to answer it as a little tease for next week.
Okay. Who killed JFK?
Who's to know?
So you're confirming, or are you confirming that it wasn't me?
I'm confirming nor denying. I'm not confirming nor denying.
Because I've not been able to sleep for 50 years, and I've only been alive for 30 of those years, so it's been really awkward. I've got this on my conscience. I didn't, did I?
I think you've got a lot of explaining to do.
I've got a lot of everything to do, but I didn't, did I?
We'll see you next week.